I didn't have any topic that I wanted to talk about. If anything, this week I wanted to just do stream of consciousness, just be open about where I'm at right now because I haven't done a vlog, a true vlog in a bit. So it's been what, like over a year now since I did a genuine vlog. Actually, I don't know how long it's been. I didn't check, but I think it was time to at least do something that wasn't trying to throw a topic down your throat. So, to any watching, hi, it's been a while. As you can see, I have a really more elaborate setup than just a blank wall. I knew that for one, I didn't want to just revive my vlogging attempts with just a really flat background. I've seen some more dedicated, more successful YouTubers who really don't have anything going on. If anything, there are times when their cameras are a bunch of potatoes. But that wasn't my taste. That's not my standard. So I figured, well, let's take a lot of my personal interests and put them up. And for years, I didn't really like showcasing a lot of my interest and hobbies on a wall. It's not I didn't feel, they were good or that I thought it was tacky. It's just that I didn't see the function in it, even though if you look at my computer, if you look at everything I do on a computer, it easily has a lot of the decorations, the themes, the skins that showcase my interest. And now over the last number of years that I got back into miniature painting, it served as a gateway for me to really, like, why not decorate existence? Why not assert a level of my creative will through something beyond the safety of a computer? And so the current extent of that expression is me decorating all this behind me. I have the BlizzCon poster that I got. It's one of the first big posters I ever got back in 2010 when Diablo 3 came out. The StarCraft 2 was, I think it was second expansion was coming out. And what else we got? And then the Cataclysm, World of Warcraft Cataclysm was also coming out. Back when, for me, Blizzard was still in good graces with a lot of people. And then we've got my what is it? This is a very special, this is a very specific illustration. I don't know how many people have seen that one, but it's a custom illustration of all the players in my buddy Joe's Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. So all of our characters were expertly illustrated by Christoph, who is now one of the official artists for White Wolf. He did those before he officially got brought on. And so we caught him at a very, very great time before he rose to stardom. And I've had brief conversations here and there, some very in-depth conversations with Christoph regarding his philosophy, his approach, his history, and I really appreciated getting into those artist-to-artist perspectives, because even if we share a lot of skill sets, it's the humanity, it's the history that channels through those skill sets, which create either the discipline or the successes of a particular artist. Speaking of which, like, it's not I never, but I didn't pursue doing more illustrations growing up, and my excuse has often been it just didn't make enough money. It wasn't a lucrative field. And in the advent of AI generating art, it doesn't necessarily prove the point to me. It's more so, to me, it reinforces the fact that I need to be more of a curator. And if you've seen my recent vlogs, one or two vlogs, or one or two YouTube videos, you'll notice that I re-included Jin, who was a mascot character that I used to use several years ago. And I was told by a colleague in the field of UX that it wouldn't be as professional to keep some sort of illustrative mascot. But over the last several months, I came to the conclusion that I don't need to align myself to the standards of what people expect a particular thing to be. I just need to be myself. It's one of the reasons why any major influential thing out there in the world follows their own path. And it's funny because if we look at business instructor slash designer companies like The Future, led by Chris Do, he and his team have great process, great form, great taste, great insight. But in the end of the day, it's still up to the individual. How well do I know myself? How well can I articulate myself into a system in which I can constantly repeat and iterate how I represent myself? Because let's say even a YouTuber who rose to fame as a personality, it used to be that they would be some level of an exaggeration of themselves, that they would hype up an aspect of themselves to gain clout or popularity. Other YouTubers are just popular because they're just themselves. And you could choose to be manufactured, but at the end of the day, you are choosing yourself with your own confidence to be that exaggerated or genuine individual, but it has to come from your core. And that's something that I only learned more confidently recently. And even though I didn't pursue really going back into doing my own art, I used my understanding, my own personal taste to outsource efforts that I chose not to do myself. So when I brought Jin back, I enlisted another artist from the Philippines, thanks to one of my friends who I met through a Final Fantasy 14 group. Her name is, or alias is Nova, but her real name is Shana. She pointed me out. It's like I was looking for someone that could do really good line art. And Nova told me, here's this person. You may find his work to your needs. Talked to him. Didn't know he was from the Philippines. It was great having a very light rapport from a new friend from the motherland. And very easy to work with. As you may know, translation of dollars to pesos, Philippine pesos, is like immense. So whenever I was enlisting him for projects, what was easy for me to pay out is a significant sum for them. And, their work, as you can see in those videos, it's like top tier talent. Like, he really knows his stuff. And when I would talk to him about inspirations, about what I was going for with Jin's original design and what I would like for him to do, he understood the assignment. He understood the aesthetic influences, and when he executed on it, it was brilliant. It was exactly what I was looking for. And so I'm going to still enlist him for other commissions later, to really give that Jin, my mascot, that breath of life that I didn't have the capacity to commit to. Because the thing about me is that I have the focus to do a certain number of things, even to the point of running myself into the ground, which is one of the reasons why this video exists right now, is because I didn't have the time to really survive my own willpower to do everything, because last week was incredibly busy to the point where I actually got physically ill from just doing so much. I will now outsource anything that I feel someone else can do better, and that I have the resources and the capacity to enlist them to do stuff. Now, I don't have any YouTube editors yet because I haven't really looked into that field for editing stuff. But now that I'm saying it, maybe I should look into it. But for now, I think the small things like restoring some ideas that I felt were more unique to me, I felt that is the right direction, because no matter what anyone does or says, there's going to be a limit if you're following some sort of process if it looks the same as everyone else doing the same stuff, that's not going to attract anybody. That's not going to inspire them. And so when I do anything now, when I assert my will, assert my ideas, it has to come from myself. And it's funny, like the entire creation of my own personal brand, I kind of tinkered with it when I started my user experience portfolio, like many years ago, when I was still working at Fitbit over in San Francisco. But it didn't come into finesse and refinement until I really started to look at interior design. Interior design is really where it inspired me to elevate my own personal branding's color palette. I started to combine aspects of a branding guide, which you can have your color, the brand voice, and stuff like that. And then I took interior design and I started to mix and match orientations and processes until I really established like what's my brand's typeface, what's my brand's iconography, what's my brand's color palette, and what are the rules of the usage of those. And that is an example of where I'm going right now. It's not just the confidence, but the boldness of my will to assert myself, my own ego onto reality. Because I mean, if you think about it, like this right here, this entire setup, which I spent hundreds of dollars on. I mean, even the manual effort of painting these walls, which you can't really see because it's dark. But if this was, if these walls were just regular lighting, because my lights are yellow, the entire wall, which was normally like an off-white towards cream, it would look very yellow. But because I painted it towards a level of teal, it now looks cooler in tone. You can kind of see the difference between that teal paint and the white of the trim. And even though it wasn't as dark as I imagined I would like it to be, it's light enough to mitigate the amount of yellow that comes from the light. So to me, it's more relaxing to look at versus just the pure white, which just absorbs so much yellow. Anyways, yeah, this is just going on random tangents, but I guess the conclusion of what I wanted to talk about is it's time. Like that is the background. That is the story of why I'm doing everything the way I am right now. It's time for me to really accept that I don't need to over prepare. Just prepare as much as I can and just do it. And leave it to someone who is a Virgo stellium. Basically, a Virgo stellium is someone who has multiple Virgo in their chart. Leave it to someone like me to overthink and go into analysis paralysis, like a number of Gemini friends that I have. But I think for me, as an analysis paralysis type of guy who just stresses, there is a certain point when we hit our limit, and then all we can really do is act. I always look at some celebrity figures who are Virgos like me, who have achieved a level of success which I draw inspiration from. One of them, for instance, is Tom Ford. He's a Virgo, achieved great success, very incredibly detail oriented, but great at execution. Two controversial figures who in their own right are very successful but have a lot of controversies around them. Karl Lagerfeld, another Virgo fashion designer, and of course Michael Jackson, also a Virgo. A more celebrated Virgo is Beyonce. And these figures and more are an inspiration to me to assert yourself. Really don't be afraid to just be bold and do things according to that vision and taste. And that's something I need to continuously exercise, that whatever idea I may have, that I should at least try. Because my trying has at the very least accomplished this so far. And I've received many compliments regarding it. And I just need to keep continuing it. So yeah. as long as I don't kill myself, because I can overexhaust myself, and next thing you know, I'm sick again, body falls ill. I get flu-like symptoms because I don't realize I'm not drinking enough water or I'm not getting enough rest, and I need to avoid caffeine so that I can have a good sense of where my rest and energy and hydration is at, because caffeine can really mess me up. But anyways, um, uh, yeah, I think that's it for this vlog. That's my update so far. I'm driving myself towards this direction because I think there is a lot I can do with the resources that I have to accomplish great things. I just need to be aware of juggling what is necessary and what I can do another day. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. Love you guys. And I'll catch you guys later.